This is the Sales Bible Podcast, episode 248, the top 10 sales and marketing tools of 2019, a fireside chat with Neil Kristianson.
Welcome to Sales Babble, the podcast that shares selling secrets for non-sellers. And now your host, Pat Helmers.
Welcome, Neil. Are you ready to babble?
I'm ready to babble, Pat. I'm a little off kilter now.
Actually, I'm looking at my clock here. We've been babbling for an hour and 15 minutes.
Is that all? Well, there has been some beer intake as well.
We're doing it. We should make this clear. Anybody who's never listened to the top 10 before, Neil and I have been doing this for 4 years.
I think this is year number
I think it's my fourth year. I don't think I've.
No, it's at least 2000. We did 2014. This is 2019, so that's 5 at least. It's been at least 5 years.
5 years.
Yeah.
I don't know where the time goes. We're in the Sales Babble studio. We have the fire is roaring.
The fire is beautiful, Pat. Beautiful.
And we've got and the beer's terrific. What are we drinking here today?
We are drinking Ninja v Unicorn. Ninja versus Unicorn.
This is just really a phenomenal.
It is candy in a can. It is amazing. It's by the wonderful Pipeworks Brewing Company in, I believe they're in Chicago, right here, if I'm not mistaken. I'm pretty sure they're a Chicago brewery.
Did you see in Chicago Tribune, I think it came out that Illinois has the most breweries of any other state?
What's the Chicago Tribune?
The newspaper.
What's a newspaper? Oh, my. I did not see that.
Yeah, really great article. We beat San Diego. And San Diego's next, and then it's like Boulder, and then it's like Seattle and Portland.
So those are cities. So you mean Chicago has the most breweries?
Chicago.
Okay.
Yeah, we're doing.
Yeah, we got some good ones. We got.
We're doing really good.
My other favorite, Revolution, is in Chicago.
Oh, I love Revolution.
I love Revolution, and then Lagunitas. They've come here, and we've accepted them with open arms because
those guys are actually from Chicago originally.
Oh, are they?
Yeah,
because
they started a brewery in California.
That's in California,
right.
the Lagunitas River in California. I was there this summer on the river.
So maybe you could tell the Sales Babble listeners why do we get together in front of the fireplace every winter?
Because I'm the only one that lives close to you that could do this. That's what I thought. No.
Well, that's true.
Yes, I only live 10 miles from here.
But
Not
I think
even.
both of us have a passion for sales and marketing and the tools that come with it.
Yeah,
and
we like to geek out about stuff.
We do.
So we kind of geek out on the tools that we use. I don't know, how did this start? This was your idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just invited me along for the ride, and I just keep coming back.
I thought we'd have a really good conversation. I don't see you much anymore like I used to.
No. Well, we're both busy now.
We're both pretty busy.
Yeah, you're all over the country, and I've been over the country a little bit this year as well. So, yeah, been busy.
So what I like to do is to go through our list. I have 5 tools. You have 5 tools.
I have 5 tools.
And people are going to take my advice because they listen to this podcast and they know that I'm an expert at these things. But they don't know you. So maybe you could share a little bit about.
They do know me if they've listened to this for the past 5 years.
But a lot of people don't listen to this.
This is my sixth appearance on the podcast. Then I think.
Oh, I think it's more than that.
Is it more than that? Am I up to 7, 8?
Yeah, you've been on all the top 10.
All the top 10 every year.
And I had you on once to talk. I've had you on twice to talk about email marketing.
Oh, really? Okay. So this has got to be at least appearance number 7.
Yeah.
Anyway, what do? I'm an automation geek. I like to set up automated email and marketing systems for companies. That's what I do. So I don't know. Does that qualify me to talk about sales tools?
Well, it does a lot because you didn't get your customers through marketing. You got your customers through sales.
Yes. I'm a reluctant salesperson. I'm not the I don't know if you're a natural salesperson. I don't know if anybody is a natural salesperson, but you are much more wired that way than I am. So I'm a reluctant salesperson. But yeah, if I want to eat, I have to sell stuff. So I sell stuff.
And you've had other businesses before where you've had to sell.
Yes. Yeah, this is not the first one. So,
Right. And you've owned a lot of businesses. In fact, we were just talking about HR problems
yeah.
just a little bit before this. And
Yeah, fire them.
fire them.
Fire them.
When are you supposed to fire them?
The first time it crosses your mind.
Do it right then.
Because it's all downhill from there. It just starts to eat you inside.
Spoken like a real boss.
Yeah, I know.
Right.
I just know that from experience, Been there.
So
I don't like to fire people. Don't get me wrong. I don't
really,
take
there wasn't a
pleasure
glint
in
in your eye?
No, I don't like to do that. That's stressful.
It's awful.
Not because of them, because of me. It's stressful on me.
It's awful. It's
I just don't want to do it. But yeah.
Yeah. And the thing is great people can really make an organization just really hum.
Mm-hmm.
And the same thing, and the opposite is true. If you had, it only takes one bad apple.
And the bad apples are easy, right? It's the ones in between that are the hard ones, right?
Yeah.
Those are the hard ones. It's when you've got this person who's great person, but maybe not just getting the results or whatever. If they're a tool, it's really easy to fire them. It's when they're really nice and they're trying hard, but it just isn't working. That's what it's.
Which is a
How
nice
did we
segue.
get on this topic?
It's like
Pat?
you said, when they're a tool, and I'm going, oh, this is the top 10
Yeah,
sales
we're going to
tools.
segue into tools
Tools.
right here because that's what we're
That was the
supposed to be
11th
talking about.
That's the 11th tool.
That's the 11th tool.
So
Okay.
So when we get started here,
All right.
I've got 5 on here. Well, I actually had 6 on here, but one of them didn't make any sense. Called the. I was a misspelling. I have no idea what this tool is.
I don't know how you write down a list and don't even know what it is, but
I think I spoke it to
well, I
Siri.
had 7, but I deleted 2 now, so I don't even remember what they were because you told me I didn't need them. So
No.
I've got 5.
No. Yeah.
I have 5 tools.
I have 5 tools.
All right, who's going first?
What should we do? Like,
Are we
should we do
rock
paper, scissors?
I don't. Why don't you? It's your show. Just go ahead. Do one.
Okay, I'll do one.
Okay.
This is a tool that I've been using for many years. I don't know why we've never brought it up on here, but it's like really super and it's free and it's Canva. Have you ever used Canva?
I have used Canva. You said free, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought you said furry.
Free.
It's free.
It's free.
It's free. I have used Canva. Yes.
It's a tool where you can bring an image into it, and you can then put text on it, marketing text, and it's just. I've used it for so many things recently. I've been using it for years, but I find myself in it every 2 weeks or more often. Making something like I've been making ebook book covers.
Oh, that's a really good use for that. Yeah.
And it's you can make them highly stylized, exactly for you, particular for you, and what they look like. The tool is extremely flexible. There are things in there that you can buy that cost extra money.
Like fonts and images and
But I have for the most part have found that what comes out of the box is adequate for me.
yeah. I know some of my assistants in the past have used that to make social media images.
Posts.
Yeah, social
like
media
ads.
posts where they put some text or inspirational quote with the image in the background and maybe our logo on it. Yeah.
I use them for making buttons on the website.
Okay.
It's kind of infinite, the things that you can do. Yeah.
Well, pretty much anything you need an image for, you could use that. I know you can use it to just crop and scale things and
yeah, I really like that tool. So I highly recommend it. Canva, Canva. That's my first tool.
Canva. Does that mean we're moving on already? Oh, I lost my list. Okay. Is it my turn?
It's your turn.
Okay. So my
This is my turn.
first
I'm
one.
gonna drink some of this beer while you're talking.
It's good beer too. Ninja versus Unicorn. Okay, my first one. I'm going to go with Grammarly this year. We have not talked about Grammarly.
I've heard of Grammarly.
Have you used Grammarly?
No.
I can't spell, so Grammarly is essential for me. So Grammarly is it's a spell checker. It's a more than spelling. No, what's the other one? This is how bad I am at English. Grammar. Yes. So it checks things like your spelling and your grammar.
There and there.
Yeah, there versus there, two versus two. Just me butchering words as I'm typing too fast.
Now, how do you set this up? Are you using
It's just a plugin in. It's an extension in Chrome, my Chrome browser, and I put it in there, so it checks. The main place I use it is in emails because Gmail does not have a spell check. I could just send stuff out willy nilly. Really? Does it have that now?
Well, the website's out.
Not everything.
Everything in Google has always had spell check.
Okay,
in it.
well, there's other places
And what do you think about that new tool that just came up where Google's AI is automatically finishing sentences for you?
At first, I was really creeped out.
It's creepy, isn't it?
But I'm actually using it, and I don't. I mean, I'll use it to start an email because they'll come up with they have down at the bottom now. They have the 3 buttons that you can hit to reply, the 3 choices, and so I'll start an email with that now maybe. And I'll be typing away, and it'll just how did you know what I was gonna say? Dang, this is creepy.
I kind of fought it at first.
Yeah, I'm just going with it
because I'm afraid of AI taking us over.
Oh, this is the rise of the robots.
This could be a whole podcast. This is something I talk about all the time. I don't think I've talked about it on Sales
Conspiracy theories. Yeah,
this is not a theory. This
is
fact.
Not a theory. Yeah,
and I've been kind of hesitant of it. It's tricking me into doing their bidding.
Yeah,
but over and over, I'm like, oh, well, that's how I would end it. That's how I would end the sentences.
Yeah.
It's actually been watching my...
I think so.
It's been watching my style of writing.
Because it says things I would say.
So I've been abdicating to it and doing its bidding, and I like it.
Well, so Grammarly will work on anything web-based. So my email platforms that I work in, if they don't have spell check in there, it's checking it in there. Just anywhere online that I am, Grammarly is looking at things, and it'll keep track of how much you type, and I don't really care about that. I just really want it to fix my major errors before I hit send or publish. So Grammarly, that was my first one.
Well, then I'm gonna move my list around because I'm gonna bring up my next one, which was the last one. It's Hemingway app.
Oh yeah, which kind of goes hand in hand with Grammarly, doesn't it?
The Hemingway app is really awesome. It's something I've been using for maybe 3 or 4 for quite a while. And if I'm writing some content, sometimes I'm just writing an email, and I want to sometimes you're writing that email to that right person, and it's got to be perfect.
Yeah.
It's got to be
that sales email that just has to be spot on.
You've talked to them on the phone. You've kind of explained to them, and they're saying, "Well, send me something." Or you'd better send them something really. But they're qualified. They're not just trying to get you off the list. Like, just send me some handout.
Right.
It's like I'm getting ready to give them a bid or something, and they're going to read it, and it's got to kill. It's got to be perfect.
So what is Hemingway? You haven't told us yet.
It's a tool that will
not
simplify.
Who is Hemingway?
Well, I have to kind of say who Hemingway was before I say this. Before I explain this, but it's an app that simplifies your language. We have a tendency to write sentences that are too long and to use too many adverbs and to
circle speak, I call it.
Yeah.
Get to the point.
We kind of feel like, I think what we end up doing is we think that we sound smarter if we make our English more grandiose.
The one I have trouble with is being passive speak, where I'm not very direct. I'm using it would be nice, or it would be, I like to use that to try to, I feel like I'm softening things.
Right.
But in reality, I'm not getting to the point. I'm doing what I call the circle speak.
It's nice when.
Mm-hmm. And if I remember correctly, I haven't used Hemingway in a long time, but if I remember correctly, it will slap you and say, don't do that.
And it'll tell you when you have some of these instances, but it'll also tell you when 1 or 2 is okay.
Oh, okay.
But it'll also tell you you've gone over your threshold.
Now you're just annoying. Yeah.
Ernest Hemingway, for people who don't know otherwise, was an American author who wrote in the 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s. I think he actually won the Pulitzer for Old Man and the Sea in mid-50s sometimes.
Sounds about right.
And
I'd believe it.
And I've read a bunch of his books. Really clear writer, really simple, but powerful powerful writer. And although some people have said that they've put Hemingway in the Hemingway app, and the Hemingway app doesn't like it. But if you're trying to make your language, if you're trying to make the stuff that you're writing super simple and easy to read, and even when you get done going through it and following everything it says, you'll go, "Well, that is."
Yeah, because it gives you like the grade level of someone's grade level. They'd have to be able to read that.
And you want to write it about 9th grade, 8th grade
at the most. Yeah. Because I can be really good at writing at like 10th, 11th, unless I consciously
these are not doctoral dissertations.
Scale it back.
No.
Yeah. We don't need to use the word dissertation in an email to someone.
Well, you can if you use a nice, short, simple sentence. You can. Use
that,
but I mean, so that's my tool.
That's
the Hemingway app.
That's your number 2. So what would my number 3 be? None of these go with that. I mean, my number 2. So my number 2, I'll just go to the next one on the list, I guess. I'm going to go with TripIt. Do you know about TripIt?
No.
TripIt is old. I've been using it for probably 15 years, 12 years. I don't know. So TripIt organizes your trip. So when you get an email from United that says, here's your flight confirmation.
Yes.
You forward that to your TripIt account.
Yes.
I just hit, I think it's like itinerary or plan at tripit.com, and I send it. And they know it's me. And they put it in a folder for me.
Yes.
And then when I get my hotel reservation, I forward it to TripIt. And they put it in the same little thing. And they build my whole little trip. So when I'm on a trip, I just open that up, and everything I need is right there on the calendar automatically. So it says like, hey, today at 1:00 you have a flight to Chicago, and you have to return your rental car by this time, and here's where you take it. And so everything's in one little thing. It's awesome. I just thought of that recently because I was talking to some of my clients who are much younger than I, and they had no idea what TripIt was. And they said, oh, you mean suitcase? And I said, I don't know. I use TripIt.
Oh, I used to have a suitcase.
Yeah.
I deleted that.
Yeah. So they said suitcase is what they all use, but
No,
so maybe that's another one that sounds very similar.
Yours sounds better.
Yeah. So it's really easy because you could just forward those email confirmations, and it parses the email to pull out all the important information and put it in a standardized form inside of this app. And it's really handy.
Now, what's that cost?
It is the grand total of free.
Has everything been free today?
I think so far mine have been free. Have yours both been free, right?
Yeah, they have been.
Yeah, so far we have the grand total of free. Now, I'm sure there's ways you can spend money with TripIt. And I think TripIt is a division of one of those like Travelocity or somebody. I don't know who it is,
right.
But yeah, because I think once you start building a trip, of course they say, hey, did you know you could rent a car? Or, hey, look at this hotel you could stay at. So I'm sure they've got ways in app that you can make them money, but you don't have to. It's beautiful.
That's great. Did we do Skyscanner a few
yes,
years ago?
You did Skyscanner.
That would be a good one to go with
last year or the year before?
I still use that tool all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, for finding trips.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm going to Germany in June, and I've been using Skyscanner to just scope out, and it's like, wow, I can fly there, but you know what? I could do a side trip in Lisbon for no money.
Oh, nice. I like Lisbon. We could go to Lisbon. That sounds good.
So, yeah. All right.
All right, you're up next. Your number, I think we're up to number 3 now.
I've been working a lot. Neil and I talked about this just before we came here. It's like I'm been looking at a lot of websites and trying to establish whether or not they're optimized to be searched out. And search engine optimization is one of my favorite things. I've given like 3 talks on it just this fall. And although I've never talked about it, I don't think you're on Sales Babble.
No.
But I can get a page to rank in like a day or two. I'll do this for people's websites. I'll just build a website, a page, their homepage, put it on Sales Babble, put it on the Sales Babble website, and in 2 days I can get it to often rank for all kinds of things, which is kind of just a fun kind of party tool, party favor to do.
It used to be card tricks. Now it's SEO. Yeah.
So, and I've built I'm not a website developer, but I've built a few, for families and whatnot, and they rank.
Right.
And it's and a client I have right now that I'm working for, that's what they do. So I've actually been teaching them the finer parts of what it takes to do SEO. So if anybody out there, and I think this is important for salespeople, because you should look at your website and go, if I was a client and I didn't know anything about you, but I knew if I didn't know anything about your company, but I wanted to know something about, I wanted to purchase something from a company like you, what would they type in?
Right.
And the tool that I use that I really like is SERP Robot.
SERP, like
SERP,
search engine ranking page position,
like
search engine ranking position or something. I think that's what that stands for.
We could look it up, but it's
it don't matter.
It's robot.
Yeah, it's a robot.
It's a robot.
Robots are cool. Robots trump everything. Yeah.
So if I was to look for something like, like my brother-in-law's kitchen remodeling in Downers Grove.
Okay.
If you're looking to remodel your kitchen, and you live in Downers Grove, he's on page 1.5.
Okay.
I can't get on page 1 because Angie's List is filled up. Page 1.
Oh, yeah.
Those kinds of websites, top
Angie's
10
List,
websites,
HGTV,
those
Thumbtack.
big national ones fill it up. But people are going past those anyway. So they go on the next page. I'm looking for a local contractor, and I think he used to spend $5,000 a year advertising and doing all kinds of things like that. I think I got him down to $35 a year now.
Oh, wow. It's just all organic now.
It's all organic.
So what does SERP Robot do?
It'll tell you where you're placed if someone was to do a search for you, because because it's hard for you to actually search on yourself easily.
Because you've done it before, and they mess with your rankings, yeah.
And even if you bring up an incognito window that doesn't know anything about your past cookies or anything that your place history that you've been, if you're on page 4, 5, or 6, it's hard to scroll through, and sometimes you'll go past yourself and you don't even realize it. And this will tell you exactly where you're at. So if it says you're at 32, you're on the 4th page, 2 from the top, most of the time.
Okay.
So Sales Babble for sales podcasts is like on page 2.
Okay.
It's hard for me to get much better than that.
Why aren't you on page 1? I'm disappointed.
Because there's HubSpot's got top 12 sales podcasts.
Oh.
There's a whole bunch of
HubSpot bastards.
Yeah. I'm on that list.
So you are on page 1 indirectly.
Indirectly. So and I place them on my website to help build the backlinks back.
Right.
So we won't go into SEO, but that's SERP Robot. And that's a great thing, I think, for anybody. You should look at your own. I think it's really important for you to look at your own website, your own company's website, and think hard about what would people type in, and are we ranking for that? And once they get to that website, is there some call to action that they will cough up their email address? Is there a lead magnet? Is there a chat bot? Is there something that would that would make them want to reach out to you and give their private information?
All right. Is that it?
Yep.
Okay. Awkward pause moment. All right, then that puts me on to number 3. I think I'm going to flip-flop here. I'm going to go with number 3. I'm going to go with Asana. So.
Oh, that's a CRM.
No. Project management.
Oh, it's like Basecamp.
Yes. So I've been on.
Let's talk about project management. What's a project management app?
Project management is a fancy to-do list, but it you can organize things. You can bring in team members. You can have contingency-based tasks and all these different things. Oh.
It was Denise.
That phone's going off over here.
She's the only one who has that sound.
So you don't even have to look.
No, it's my lovely wife.
So I have been on the quest for a project management tool that works for me. I think 2 or 3 years ago I talked about Trello on this podcast.
Yep.
Which worked when I was just a single dude doing what I did. But as I started to add team members, it didn't really work so well anymore. And the other issue was I wanted to be able to add customers on there, and I wanted to be able to set my levels of privacy, and it just got like Trello wasn't working. It wasn't doing it anymore. So we went on the quest for a project management tool this year, and we ended up with Asana. And I'm kind of in love with Asana.
A lot of
it
people
fits
like
my
Asana.
brain.
I've heard a lot of people use Asana and like it.
And I use it for all kinds of stuff now, just to keep track of things. But every one of my clients has a board in there, where we're keeping track of things. We also use it for sales and like keeping track of where people are with sales in the sales process.
Use it as a CRM.
A little bit. Yeah, it's not really our CRM, but it's helping us remember things. When we're ready to we definitely use it in onboarding. Like, so we need contracts, we need to get them things to get them, started with us. That kind of thing goes into Asana. But then I also use it like for big picture goals. It's kind of my goal sheets. I keep track of stuff in Asana. I went on a road trip this year and used Asana to plan the trip because it was more than TripIt was going to be able to do for me.
These tools are like I used to use Basecamp a lot. Mm-hmm. It was that this client I have, one of the clients I have right now uses Monday. Have you ever heard of that?
I've seen it in my YouTube. They have taken over YouTube ads recently, Monday. Mm-hmm. So I have seen that quite a bit.
I haven't plugged in. I haven't used it much.
No, I've never used it, but I've seen it.
But Asana, I can validate that a lot of people love it.
Yeah, I love it because we can. Well, I've got my whole team on it now. We can share specific things with customers without them seeing everything. It's just it's been working really well. We can have conversations about things inside of Asana. Of course, there's a free version. Yeah. But that didn't get me everything I wanted, so I'm paying, and I don't even remember because I paid for it by the year. But I think I paid it was $200 or $300 for the year.
For the whole year.
Yeah, I think it's by how many team members you have per month, and I forget maybe like $10 per person kind of sticks in my head. And then you get a discount if you pay by the year. So
I love the idea that you can get your clients on there.
Yeah,
because they have. Commonly they have responsibilities, and oftentimes they're the ones bollocksing things up, holding things up, which is goofy because they're the ones paying. You'd think they'd want to be moving on this, but these tools are a nice way of pushing people along without you having to call them up and say
the tool can be the bad guy.
Yeah. Well, it just says that you need to.
Yeah, I like that about it too, because then we can share with them without sharing our whole world with them. We can be selective about what we're showing them.
I like it.
Yep.
I like it.
All right. Number 4
is, now we have talked about this once before. It was, let me turn that off there. Sorry about that, folks.
This is the casual podcast.
With regular guests, I'm like, you got your phone silenced, you got the dog put away, you're already going to the bathroom, you got something to drink.
Yeah, when it's you and me, it's like, whatever.
We talked about this once before. I don't think we ever, I never talked about it.
Okay.
It's Active Campaign.
Okay.
Which is the email tool that I used. I don't think I saw it on a list back
we
in
talked
2014.
about it way back when. Yeah, I think I did. Yeah.
And I remember
and you were very skeptical and told me that that AWeber was the best thing ever, and you were never leaving.
No, that's not
true.
That's not true.
I believe that's true. No. You resisted for years.
No, let me tell you why. I did use AWeber for many years, but I was kind of fed up with them.
Oh, should we tell them what Active Campaign and AWeber is first of all?
Jeez Louise, yeah.
Yeah. You're just gonna go on a rampage.
It's an email tool.
Yes. Email marketing tool, yeah. Automation.
But the thing is, every salespeople should have one of these. Every salesperson should have one of these tools.
Yes. I've been saying that for years.
This is not a marketing tool. This is a sales tool.
Okay.
Like, for example, like yesterday, I need to follow up with these IT companies. So I've built a relationship with them, and I want to partner with them. But I want them to stay top of mind. But I can't remember to keep emailing them and calling them up.
Right.
So I built an active campaign. I wrote 7 emails.
Yeah.
And it said, "Hi, Neil. I was just thinking of you the other day. And I write them, and it looks like I just actually wrote the emails.
Right.
And then it fires it off to you, and then and at the bottom I usually ask, "Oh, by the way, there's usually a call to action on there. Have you thought of anybody that'd be a good fit for us? Do you think this is the right idea?" It always ends in a question.
Mm-hmm. Try to get some interaction.
Trying to get some interaction, and people think I emailed them. But the tool did.
Yeah,
and it's pretty cool how it works.
You did email. Let's not make it slimy. You did email them. You just did it in a very intelligent,
automatic,
predefined way. Yeah.
And then like 3-4 weeks, then I have the thing paused for 3 or 4 weeks.
Yeah.
I think I go to 2 to 3 weeks. I think. Mm-hmm. And then sometimes it's 2 weeks, sometimes it's 3 weeks, and then another email goes off. And I wrote like 7 of those. Yeah. So they'll go all the way to June. Mm-hmm. And then I decided to just like start it back up at the top.
Uh-oh. Just put them back in the beginning.
They're going to be on this list forever until they unsubscribe.
Yeah.
But I make it hard for them to unsubscribe because I got this big blank space in the bottom. I have the email signature looks just like the regular emails that I've sent to them.
Yep.
And by the fact that I've actually been emailing them before I put them on this list, so Google thinks this is like a real guy emailing. This isn't like some spammy.
Well,
guy.
It is. Yeah. Yeah.
So they'll show up in the primary tab on the left.
Yeah.
And there is an unsubscribe because that's law, but it's like way down at the bottom.
Yeah.
And people don't even scroll that far down.
No, they don't. Probably not.
So it's kind of a hack, but it's a really nice way of keeping you top of mind.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, because they're gonna forget about you about 5 minutes after you hang up the phone with them.
Active campaign's not expensive.
No, I think it's too cheap.
Well, it's cheaper than AWeber than I was paying.
If I was running that company, it would be a lot more expensive. That's just way too cheap.
I just bought for my client a year's worth for like $125.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which, if that's for like 500 contacts or something like that.
Yeah, and it's up to 1,000 probably because it's $29 a month for up to 1,000.
Yeah, it's pretty, just super easy. Mm-hmm. If you're a salesperson, especially you're selling high-end tickets, you only need a few hundred people in there. That's going to be spinning in there. And I don't know. I used to have processes to remind me in Salesforce. It's time to send them an email. In my hand, I would type the email. I'd copy and paste it from a notepad or something.
Right.
And I was like, oh my god, this is just much easier.
Much easier. Yeah. You can't forget this way. Nothing to get added to your to-do list once you have it set up and done.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's beautiful.
And the only reason I never switched them years ago, by the way, is that they're actually interesting enough. They're a Chicago company.
Yes.
Not everything's from California.
Yeah.
And then, and I called them up for some support or something, and they were not. They didn't get back to me for days, and I was just like, I just don't feel like switching.
Yeah.
Last year, I was so fed up with AWeber, and I knew, and I would save money actually if I switched to Active Campaign, but it's so much work
painful.
to switch.
Yeah, it's painful to switch.
I finally bit the bullet, and I'm really glad I did. I don't regret it at all, and I'm in it a few times every week.
Yeah. Yeah.
Terrific tool.
You don't have to convince me. This is what I do every day.
But there's somebody in the podcast. So.
Yeah. Okay.
All
yeah.
All right. Next.
So I did Asana, right? So this is number 4. So okay. So my next one is Loom. Are you familiar with Loom? No. Loom? Oh, Pat, you're gonna like Loom. So Loom is it's another Chrome extension that you just put on there's a desktop version, but I use it in Chrome. And you just click the button and you can start recording a screen share just instantly. As well as if you've got a video camera, it will superimpose you on the screen. So I use it I probably use it 3 or 4 times a day. I'm making a video, either to send to my team to show them how to do something, to send to clients to show them how to do something, and the new thing I've started to do that is sales related is that if they fill out my contact form but they do not set an appointment, which is the next step, now I'm starting to make videos to send to them via Loom that just says, hey, I see you filled out, and hey, that's something we do every day. I'd love to be able to help you with that. Love to get on the phone or on Zoom to talk to you about it. Schedule a time here. And it's got a call to action button that you can put right on the video, that they can click the button that would take them to like my calendar in this case. So I use the crap out of this thing. I used to use, what did I use? What's it called? Camtasia. I used to use Camtasia, but
they have a little version of Camtasia.
Yeah.
That can only do like 5-minute videos.
Okay.
It's TechSmith, the name of that company, I think.
Oh, TechSmith.
But I can't think what that other tool is called. It's Tech something or other. But
yeah, this is awesome because
going back to Active Campaign, you ever get support from them?
From Active?
Active Campaign.
I don't use Active much.
Okay, if I get confused on there, you get on the chat. Next thing you know, they share a video with you, and it's like click, 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 click.
Yeah,
and they'll tag the tag. You got that, Pat? You thinking it? And I'm looking at it and I'm going, got it.
Yeah,
it is the most awesome.
Well,
I love those little videos.
They can have sound and not have sound, so I'm always just talk through. On these, so I've got sound, and then it emails me when somebody watches it, so I know that they saw it. I use these for tech support when I have to have an issue with the platform. I'll make a video and say, hey, here's what I'm seeing and why I think it's broken, and I send that in. Much easier than me typing out tons of stuff, and I just have this huge list now of Loom videos that I've used, and they're in my, it's awesome. I love Loom. I use it, like I said, 3, 4, 5 times a day, easily.
Cool. I have to think about how to use that in sales.
Again, free.
It's free.
Although they just came out last week with a paid version, and I upgraded to it because to get the calls to action button is in their pro version, and it's a whopping, I think, $9 a month or something. But the free version, you can have, I think it's up to like 100 videos on there for free. So, yeah, it's great.
Excellent.
Yep. All right. This is it. Your number 5. Make it count. Make it count.
This is one I've briefly mentioned, I think, in a past podcast with Kevin Appleby. I've been using the WhatsApp app a lot.
Why do you use WhatsApp?
It's kind of a back channel. So
explain.
So we've been using it to boost LinkedIn posts. So,
wow, I'm really confused now. So now I'm curious. So keep going.
So, the bottom line, there's a whole podcast on this, but the bottom line is this. If LinkedIn sees a post being commented on a lot, the AI software in there thinks that it must be really popular, and they make it more visible for anybody who's connected with you to showing up on their news feed.
Okay.
So that makes you more visible. So that actually raises your profile, raises your branding.
I get that.
So a way of doing that is there's a group of us who have a secret. It's a secret society.
Was JFK ever a member of the secret society?
No.
Okay. Well, that's disappointing.
No. But we do have secret handshakes. So what we do is we will share, we will make a post and then share the link in WhatsApp to our friends. Our friends will see that in WhatsApp. Oh, there's a new message. They click on there and then we ask everybody to comment on them and like that, and that bumps up the visibility of our LinkedIn post quite a bit.
Okay, so just to be a jerk. Why WhatsApp just over texting somebody?
Because WhatsApp is kind of well designed. It's got a couple things going for it. Not only has it got a phone app, but it's got an app for the Mac and PC. So it makes it very easy to cut and paste links.
Oh, I like that. Yeah. because I always have clients texting me stuff, and then it's stuck on my phone, and it needs to be in my computer.
With my clients, I find myself texting them in WhatsApp a lot because they travel a lot abroad. Mm-hmm. And it's just easier for me to have everything in one nice texting app, not on my phone, which is kind of people, friends.
Yeah.
And it's not Facebook Messenger. People text me. You probably have the same problem I have.
Yeah.
I know they sent me an email, but they didn't send you an email. They did it.
Yep.
They did it. Well, maybe it was on LinkedIn. And you look there, it's not there, Yep. And all of a sudden there it is. It's hidden in Facebook Messenger of all places.
Right.
It was like.
Or I've got these text groups, and who knows which group it was in that they sent it to me. It's just, there's way too many communication channels now.
Yeah.
I wish it all just came to one place.
Yeah.
Build that, and I'll buy it.
Well, phone. If the problem is that phone texting isn't very, SMS is not very rich for like groups. You can't easily do groups and put people in and out of them.
Right.
I have a group of people who are friends and family, but there's like 11 or 12 of us.
Yeah.
And one person always gets kicked out because some phone systems only allow 10. Like AT&T.
Oh. I want to know how to get myself out of them, because sometimes, I'll look over and there's like 30 messages that I don't give a crap about. Get me out of this thing.
I know people like that. Like, I want to get out of this.
But you can't in a text message.
WhatsApp fixes all that.
Oh.
I think WhatsApp's actually owned by Facebook, though. I think. Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. It's not perfect either.
I mean, I've used it when I travel overseas.
I liked WeChat a lot. But there was no customer support. We couldn't get people in and out of it. And then I started moving to WhatsApp for this, and I'm finding a lot of business people are in WhatsApp.
Really?
Yeah. So that's why I added to the list.
I was just
it seems like a
talking
strange tool to put on this list here, but it's actually.
I was just talking to a customer this week that uses WhatsApp as part of their business process.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
That's it.
Okay.
So how long have we been on?
I still got number 5 to go.
Oh, I thought
you started this.
Oh, I thought this was the end.
No, there's one more.
Oops.
Number 5.
Last but not least.
I've saved. I don't know. I think it's going to be the best for last. So, I just found this. Well, I've known about it for a long time, but I just got it and installed it on my computer this week. And it's called Drag App. Familiar with Drag App?
Mm-mm.
Again, another Chrome extension. I'm like the Chrome extension king this time.
Yeah, but you've brought some here to this group here, which have not lasted.
Hey, it's not
like,
all
what was that
winners.
one LinkedIn one?
Oh, that wasn't my fault. They went out of business.
No, you get blamed for that.
I think LinkedIn shut them down or bought them, and then
LinkedIn
it was called
down.
Crystal, right? Was it Crystal?
No.
Crystal Knows or something like that?
It was kind of useful because if you had an email,
it was
awesome. It would
awesome.
automatically go into LinkedIn, kind of figure out who that is, and they would pop their little LinkedIn profile up on the right.
Oh, that one. Oh, that was really nice. And then LinkedIn bought them and made you pay for it. That's what happened. Yep, that was really nice. I really liked that one. That's been a few years.
Yeah.
Yeah, they can't all be winners, Pat. I do what I can. So, Drag App.
Drag App's a Chrome extension.
It's a Chrome extension for Gmail, and it turns your Gmail into a Kanban board. You know what I mean? Like cards?
No.
Like columns of cards where you can drag them around. And the cool thing with
it's called
Kanban.
Kanban?
Yeah, that's the official name for that. Like Trello is a Kanban board.
How do you spell Kanban?
Oh, I was afraid. Remember the thing back I talked about earlier, Grammarly, where I can't spell?
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Kanban?
I think it's K. I think it's
K. Kanban?
I think so. There might be an H in there. Don't quote me on that.
It's a card game or card?
It's card view. So you're like looking at cards instead of a list.
All right.
So it turns your inbox into a card view, but it's got columns where you can drag your emails from one column to another. So if you want to organize them by like, I'm working on this, or I need to get back to this person, or I'm waiting for this person, you can make different columns, which is nice. But the real reason I got it is because you can share boards with people, with other Gmail users.
Right.
So now the way we're going to use it is I'm going to use it for sales, because I have people that when a lead comes into my inbox, they take that lead and put it in our CRM, which means I have to remember to forward them the email or CC them on any communication, because then they also say, hey, Neil, what's going on with so-and-so? And then I say, oh, I've been talking to him all week. And they said, really? I don't know. And I said, oh, yeah, I keep forgetting to CC you on the emails. So now they'll be able to see, if I put anything on that sales board, they'll be able to see everything in that sales board, and then they could reply to emails as well, or just watch what's going on.
Interesting.
And the other thing, then we'll have columns for the sales board, like, hey, they've scheduled a call, they haven't scheduled a call, we've talked to them, we're waiting to follow up, or we're waiting for them to follow up. So then I can organize it and go in there and see what's going on with the sales at any one time. Also, it's going to be a way that I can share my inbox with my assistant when I'm out of the office or on vacation or whatever. I can just turn that on. I can add her to my inbox and then remove her from my inbox when I'm back. So it's just a really easy way to share what's going on. We're also using it for a customer, for their customer service. So we're setting up their help at email address that all the customers email in. We're going to do as a shared board in Drag, and then that way we can see all the customer service issues. More than one person can work on it. Everybody will know that, hey, that one's taken care of, or no, that one's still open. Somebody needs to handle it. So it's a easy way to share, and that's I think they've been around for about a year.
Right.
And they started out just with this Drag concept,
right.
Then realized that the real money was in this team concept.
Right.
So now they've really focusing on this whole team idea. They're still in beta, but that comes out, I believe, I just talked to the guy today. He told me they're going to come out of beta mid-January.
Cool. So they sound like a real startup, where they've just started with one thing and they've been slowly pivoting and listening to their customers and tuning their...
Because they started out just as Drag and, making card view for your email.
Good for them.
And then they went, hey, that's great, but nobody wants to pay for that. But people are willing to pay for Teams. And light bulb moment. And then they pivoted to really working on Teams.
Excellent.
Yep. All right. So there we go. That was my number 5.
All right. So for one more time, let me walk through my 5.
Uh-oh. All right.
I did.
Recap.
Recap. I get pull up my Todoist, which by the way was last year's. I still use Todoist. Canva, WhatsApp, SERP Robot, Active Campaign, and the Hemingway app.
And mine were Grammarly, TripIt, Asana, Loom, and Drag.
You're going to send me links to these?
I can certainly share links to these.
That would be terrific. I'd appreciate that. And we'll stick those in on show notes.
Yes.
Did you know that this is going to be published on Christmas Day?
Sure. This will make fun Christmas Day listening for the entire family. Kids, gather around the tree. We're going to listen to Sales Babble.
It comes out 3:00 in the morning Central Time. That way, people in Europe, they'll get it.
What is that, about noon? Yeah.
But no, it'll be. I think it's 8 in the morning. Well, no, 3. It'll be
about
9
6 hours, right? 9
in the morning.
Oh yeah.
When they get it.
9.
Yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
But I no one's gonna be working on Christmas Day.
No. Well, hopefully they've downloaded it after Christmas Day and they're listening right now.
It's surprising how many people I've gone on to my analytics and found how the number of people hit Sales Babble, like real people, not Russians.
Yes.
On
Russians are real people, Pat. Just go ahead.
Those are bots. those aren't real people. And there's I don't know what they're doing.
Yeah. Just tootling on Sales Babble on Christmas Day.
Well, good for them. Yeah, and so the same thing's going to be true, too. So before I end this up, I'm going to be talking about end-of-year planning goals the next week, which comes out on New Year's Day.
Which sounds very appropriate. Planning goals on New Year's Day.
Although you probably should have gotten your planning before. You should be doing that now.
Yeah. I haven't started mine yet, so that's what I always do between Christmas and New Year's. That week is Phone's not really ringing. Clients aren't emailing. So I'm working on
It's a good
the
time
business
to be
that
working on
week.
that.
Yep.
Yep.
And this year it's kind of strange because we got Christmas on a Tuesday. So it only gives you kind of 3 days this year in between.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Yep. All right.
All right, that's it.
There it is.
All
Top
right.
10.
Top 10
Top 10. Woo!
for 2019.
2019.
Stuff we used in 2018.
We
that you should
found
be
in
using in
2018.
2019.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you.
Thank you, Pat. It's always fun to sit in the Sales Babble headquarters and drink beer
Yep. Ooh, the fire
by
went
the
out.
fire.
We
need to kick that thing up
We
again.
need to kick that thing out. All right.
All right.
Thank you.
See you next year.
Next year.
Thank you for listening to the Sales Babble podcast. Find us at www.salesbabble.com.